Scattered across our oceans are islands that seem to hide secrets the world still can't fully explain. Some are surrounded by strange legends, others hold ancient mysteries, and a few are so isolated that almost no one has ever truly explored them. These places feel eerie, fascinating, and sometimes even a little dangerous. In this video, we're exploring the most mysterious islands in the world, places filled with unanswered questions, chilling stories, and secrets that continue to puzzle scientists and travelers alike. Today, we will talk about the most mysterious islands in the world. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel. 10. Hashima Island. At number 10 is Hashima Island, one of the most haunting abandoned places in the world. Located off the coast of Nagasaki in Japan, this small island became famous during the early 20th century because of its coal mines. At its peak, thousands of workers and their families lived on this tiny island. Apartment buildings, schools, shops, and hospitals were all built on the small piece of land to support the growing population. Because of its shape, the island looked like a giant battleship floating in the sea, which is how it got the nickname Battleship Island. Life on the island was extremely crowded. In fact, it once had one of the highest population densities in the world. However, when coal was replaced by other energy sources in the 1970s, the mines shut down. Almost overnight, everyone left the island. Buildings were abandoned, streets became empty, and nature slowly started to take over the structures. 9. Socatra Island. At number 9 is Socatra Island, one of the most unusual ecosystems on Earth. Located in the Arabian Sea near Yemen, this remote island has remained isolated from the rest of the world for millions of years. Because of this long isolation, many plants and animals on the island evolved in ways that are completely different from anywhere else. Nearly 1/3 of the plant life on Socatra cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. The most famous plant is the dragon's blood tree. Its strange umbrella shape makes it look like something from another planet. When the bark of the tree is cut, it releases a deep red sap that looks like blood, which is how the tree got its unusual name. The island is also home to rare birds, reptiles, and unique plant species that scientists are still studying today. Because of its unusual landscape and strange vegetation, many visitors describe Socatra as the most alien-looking place on Earth. 8. Easter Island. At number 8 is Easter Island, one of the most famous mysterious islands in the world. Located in the Pacific Ocean, thousands of kilometers away from the nearest continent, this remote island is known for its giant stone statues called moa. There are nearly 900 of these massive statues scattered across the island. Some of them stand more than 10 meters tall and weigh over 80 tons. These statues were carved by the island's ancient Polynesian inhabitants hundreds of years ago. What continues to puzzle researchers is how these enormous statues were transported across the island without modern machines. Several theories exist, but none have been proven completely. Another mystery is the sudden collapse of the island's ancient civilization. At one time, the island supported a large population, but by the time European explorers arrived in the 1700s, the society had already declined. 7. Povlia Island. At number 7 is Povlia Island in Italy, a place surrounded by dark history and chilling stories. The island sits in the Venice Lagoon between Venice and Lido. During the time of the Black Death, in the 14th century, the island was used as a quarantine station. People who showed signs of the disease were sent there to prevent the infection from spreading to the city. Thousands of sick individuals spent their final days on this isolated island. Later, in the early 20th century, a mental hospital was built on Povlia Island. The hospital operated for several decades before eventually closing. After that, the island was abandoned once again. 6. Bouvet Island. At number 6 is Bouvet Island, one of the most remote islands on the entire planet. Located in the South Atlantic Ocean, this icy volcanic island is covered mostly by glaciers and steep cliffs. The island belongs to Norway, but it lies thousands of kilometers away from the country. Because of its extreme isolation and harsh weather conditions, very few people have ever visited it. One of the strangest discoveries on Bouvet Island happened in the 1960s, when researchers found an abandoned lifeboat on the shore. The boat contained supplies, but there was no sign of the people who had used it. 5. North Sentinel Island. At number 5 is North Sentinel Island, one of the most isolated and protected places on Earth. This island is home to the Sentinelese people, one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world. The Sentinelese have lived on the island for thousands of years and have consistently rejected any contact with outsiders. Whenever ships or helicopters approach the island, the tribe signals that visitors are not welcome. Because of this, the Indian government has declared the island a protected area. No one is allowed to travel within several kilometers of the island in order to protect the tribe and respect their way of life. 4. Oak Island. At number 4 is Oak Island, a small island in Canada that has been the center of a treasure mystery for more than 2 centuries. In the late 1700s, a group of young men discovered a strange hole in the ground on the island. As they began digging, they found layers of wood and other materials buried deep underground. This discovery became known as the famous Money Pit. Over the years, many treasure hunters have tried to uncover what might be hidden there. Some believe it could be pirate treasure. Others think it might contain historical artifacts or valuable documents. 3. Bermuda. At number 3 is Bermuda, an island group located in the North Atlantic Ocean. Bermuda is closely connected to the famous Bermuda Triangle, one of the most talked about mysteries of the sea. For many years, stories have circulated about ships and airplanes disappearing while traveling through this region. These events created theories about strange magnetic forces, unusual weather patterns, and even unknown natural phenomena. Scientists have suggested several possible explanations, including powerful storms and ocean currents. However, the mystery still captures the imagination of people around the world. 2. Palmira Atoll. At number 2 is Palmira Atoll, a remote group of small islands located in the Pacific Ocean. At first glance, Palmira looks like a perfect tropical paradise with clear water, coral reefs, and beautiful beaches. However, the atoll has a long history of strange events and unexplained stories. Over the years, several unusual incidents have been reported by visitors and sailors who pass through the area. Because of its isolation and mysterious reputation, the atoll remained largely uninhabited for many years. Today, it is mainly used for scientific research and environmental protection. 1. Niha. At number 1 is Niha, one of the most secretive islands in the world. Located in Hawaii, this island has remained closed to most outsiders for more than a century. The island is privately owned, and only a small number of native residents are allowed to live there. Visitors are rarely permitted, and modern development has been kept extremely limited. Because of this isolation, many traditional Hawaiian customs and ways of life have been preserved on the island. The local language and culture remain strong, almost untouched by the outside world. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching,